Now, live on WPRI 12 and on WPRI.com. This is Eyewitness News This Morning. Coverage you can count on.
It's going to be incredibly cold, and we want everybody to heed this warning and don't try to stay in your house.
Governor Raimondo warning Newport County residents not to tough out the cold during this ongoing gas emergency.
And we begin this morning with this developing news out of Newport County. More than 7,000 National Grid customers without natural gas service this morning during this frigid weather stretch.
And Governor Raimondo calling Newport County a state of emergency right now. National Grid reporting a frozen valve issue near Old Mill Lane in Portsmouth, which needed to be repaired in order to build pressure back up into the system.
This morning we have team coverage. National Grid deploying thousands of workers and support personnel to assist in these restoration efforts.
And Michaela McDonald is going to be breaking this down. We'll have the latest on the story and how state officials are stepping in to help. Also, Alexandra Leslie has more on how residents without heat are finding different ways to try to stay warm out there.
Issue behind it all, of course, frigid temperatures across the state, putting us in this pinpoint weather alert. Let's send it over to Michelle for a look at the day ahead.
We are still waking up in the single digits. We've been there for about 24 hours now. Places like Newport down this morning to 9 degrees.
Very latest now in the state of emergency declared by Governor Raimondo. Thousands remain without gas service in Newport and Middletown.
This morning we're taking a closer look at what exactly led up to the problem and how National Grid is still working to fix it. Eyewitness News reporter Michaela McDonald joins us live in the Breaking News Center.
Danielle and Patrick, National Grid says it will likely take days to restore all gas service to the roughly 7,000 customers who have been impacted. And National Grid says that this started as a low gas pressure situation around 11 o'clock yesterday morning. They say the interruption in service is due to a transmission supply issue from their natural gas supplier. And at first, customers in Middletown were impacted. They then turned off gas to about 6,800 customers in Newport out of an abundance of caution. Now, warming shelters and hotel rooms are being offered to anyone who has been impacted. And at the press conference last night, the governor and emergency officials urged residents to use those resources and not try to tough it out in their cold houses. National Grid spokesperson Tim Horan explained the decision to suspend service.
But the 6,700 customers in Newport were shut down for safety reasons. We want to make sure there is no issue out there on the system. There wasn't enough pressure in the system to get the customers back the way we did on the rest of the system. And that's why we shut this down.
And State Senator Lou DePalma tweeted, quote, "I'm in contact with local, state, and NG re the situation and will remain so until the situation is resolved. I promise you a root cause analysis will be conducted once gas has been restored to all the affected customers. We need to increase the resiliency." And Governor Raimondo's office tells us that they are planning another press conference update for later this morning. We will, of course, bring you any developments in this situation. And this situation coming at a time with very dangerous temperatures outside. My colleague Alexandra Leslie has more on efforts to help those impacted stay warm, including pets.
Good morning. Well, families with pets are not being left to fend for themselves throughout this situation. The Potter League in Middletown says it's offering help while this issue is resolved. Now, just to show you where we are now, we're outside of the Newport Grand Casino where National Grid has set up a sort of command center overnight. But right now, though, the Potter League is urging people to not leave their pets at home without heat. If you are bringing your pet to a shelter, you're asked to bring any medications they may need, plus their preferred food and their vaccination record. Now, we should add that not all hotels and warming shelters accept pets, but Potter League says it will be open and staffed 24/7 as an emergency shelter until this outage is fixed.
Don't leave your pets at home. That's why we're here. They're just as easily affected by hypothermia and all that kind of stuff. So that's why we're here.
Now, again, the shelter will be open 24/7 throughout this situation. If you have any questions, you are asked to call the Potter League to do so. Reporting live in Newport, I'm Alexandra Leslie, Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News moving to the capital city now. Providence police confirmed to Eyewitness News that a man shot on Rosedale Street in the city's West End Monday night is expected to survive. Happened just before 5. We're told the victim was sitting in a car when he was shot. Police say the shooter took off. No word if any arrests have been made.
A Taunton state lawmaker has joined a Newton state representative to file a bill to help speed up the Massachusetts transition to renewable forms of energy. Senator Mark Pacheco of Taunton was one of the sponsors. The proposal would update a 2008 law setting tighter limits on carbon emission levels over the next 30 years. The final goal, net zero carbon emissions by the year 2050. It's now 5:37 on this Tuesday. When we come back on Eyewitness News this morning.
Those frigid temperatures icing over parts of the Northeast. Show you more on how the weather has impacted some areas when we come back. Eyewitness News covering American Update for you about some controversial viral video of a group of teenagers allegedly taunting a Native American Vietnam vet.
The Boys Kentucky school has hired an independent investigator to look into this incident. Now, the boys were in D.C. for the March for Life rally. Chaperones for these students say a third of the group actually started the whole thing, shouting hateful things at the boys. Now, in the video, the boys appear to be mocking Nathan Phillips, who claims he was trying to divide both groups.
Some incredible photos to show you. The aftermath of the freezing temperatures along the East Coast. You're looking at ice formations on docks. This is Deal Island in Maryland yesterday. You can see the rip curls in the water completely frozen in place. Now to Canada. Parts of Niagara Falls completely frozen as well. This is in Ontario. Storm in the northeast claimed 7 lives. Extreme cold setting records. More than 100 million people under some form of a winter storm watch.
Your time now coming up on 5:42. Still ahead on Eyewitness News this morning.
Hearing from a doctor at Hasbro Children's Hospital about how to stay safe in these dropping temperatures.
Coverage you can count on. This is Eyewitness News on WPRI 12.
5:45. Quick check of today's top local stories.
A Cranston man is now in federal custody and facing possible deportation following an alleged hit-and-run crash involving a snowplow. The suspect, 36-year-old Jose Ruiz, is now in ICE custody after allegedly crashing into a DOT plow truck in Smithfield and then taking off Saturday night. He's facing several charges connected to the crash, including DUI and eluding police.
Governor Raimondo has declared a state of emergency because of a natural gas issue. Thousands of National Grid customers on Aquidneck Island lost gas service. The coldest night of the year. Crews going door to door, checking levels while emergency shelters set up for those without gas. Crews say they'll be working around the clock until gas is restored to all customers. Schools in Newport are closed today.
Families affected by this who have pets, you're being encouraged to bring the animals to the Potter League in Middletown. They're open 24/7 right now with full staffing as an emergency shelter until the outage is fixed. They're asking anyone, if you are going to bring the pet to the Potter League, bring along medication, vaccination records, and their preferred food as well. Well, freezing temperatures in January in southern New England are expected, but an Arctic blast like the one we've seen can be really dangerous.
Being outside for a short amount of time can be unsafe if you're not properly bundled up.
Eyewitness News reporter Caroline Goggins spoke with a local doctor who says even minimal exposure is okay as long as you're listening to your body.
Brutal cold making for a bitter start to the work week across southern New England. For those who have to be outside, a warning from local doctors. Layer up and be aware of Mother Nature.
So really not to underestimate it. So be sure to wear your hats, wear mittens, wear layers.
From Saturday to Monday afternoon, Lifespan says it saw 129 weather-related visits to their emergency rooms, and that about half of them were from falls on the ice.
Certainly if you fall and hit your head and get knocked out or have nausea afterwards, we definitely worry at that point.
Dr. Tanya Sutcliffe says anyone on medications like blood thinners should be evaluated after a fall to ensure there isn't a more serious injury. A pediatric doctor, Sutcliffe reminds parents to layer up their children, but be careful in the car.
Not doing big, bulky jackets within a car seat because that can be dangerous because it adds extra padding, and kids in car crashes can be more likely to be dislodged from their car seat if they have puffy jackets on.
That puffy jacket, a necessity in this cold. Dr. Sutcliffe says if you're speaking sluggishly, having trouble moving your fingers and toes, or experiencing confusion, you could be getting hypothermia. She also warns people to make sure their carbon monoxide detectors are working, telling us dizziness, headache, and nausea could be signs of CO poisoning.
And if people are having those symptoms, definitely something worth being checked out.
Now, here's meteorologist Michelle Muscatello with your Pinpoint Weather 12 forecast.
It is now It is 5:51. We want to let you know which local companies are now hiring, as Eyewitness News has teamed up with the Rhode Island Department of Labor and Training. Every day we pass along brand new local job openings here at Eyewitness News. L3 Chesapeake Sciences Corporation in Hopkinton. They're looking to hire electronic assemblers. If you'd like to find out more, just head to employri.org. The job number is 824373. Our website also has all the details if you click on the Call for Action tab, followed by the Job Finder.
Here's what's coming up on the Roadshow this morning. Hide under your blankets. New season of Kindred Spirits Roadshow, talking to the paranormal investigators behind this. Go inside a beloved musical. Coming to PPAC, Cats Crawling into Providence. Roadshow is at 9. You can see it right here on WPRI 12. 5:52. More coverage you can count on coming up on Eyewitness News.
After this break, helping himself. Some pretty incredible video to show you out of Maine after a hungry eagle steals the only catch of the day.
The Stock Report is brought to you by White Cross Pharmacy. Local pharmacists, local people, delivering the med pack free to your door. Eyewitness News on WPRI 12 continues.
Imagine ice fishing all day in the bitter cold, conditions on a lake, horrible, finally getting that catch. It'd be worth the wait, right?
Well, one Maine fisherman captured the moment that his catch of the day was stolen. Here it is. Take a look. In Little Sebago Lake, group of friends had just made this catch, and then a bald eagle swooped down. Taking a look, feeling out the situation, and then he makes the sly grab. Look at that with his foot. Free lunch for the bald eagle, leaving the friends empty-handed. I would say it's worth it for that photo op. If you're just waking up and joining us, 5:56 is your time. Here's what we're following at 6 a.m.
State of emergency declared on Aquidneck Island. Thousands of National Grid customers without gas service.
Governor Raimondo urging those affected by this gas outage, it's not safe to stay in your house and to seek shelter. I'm Alexandra Leslie. I'll have a live report in Newport coming up.
And it is another frigid morning. Single digits, wind chills well below zero. I do see some signs of a warm up, though. My full forecast is coming up.
And I'm already tracking several crashes affecting your morning commute. I'll have a closer look at what you can expect and those drive times. That's straight ahead.
Another full hour of Eyewitness News this morning coming up on WPRI 12.
A team coverage of that gas emergency in Newport County coming your way at 6 a.m.